when we talked earlier this summer, you told me that you were bringing a lot of young guys up this season.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest difference between coaching and preparing younger players compared to the more experienced ones?
Just not being in the program as long, they've got a lot to learn, obviously. Learning some of our, not our base scheme, but, the extension of that, it's new to some of those younger players. And these guys are doing a great job of showing them how it's done. But just that physicality you got to have in practice and in games, and that some of these young guys aren't quite used to.
Yeah, that's more experienced players. What are you guys doing to help those younger kids?
Just trying to help them out most we can, give them most advice, try to lift them up and just boost their confidence.
You just help the guys around you. You see them mess up, you lift them up and tell them what they're supposed to do, and hope they get it right the next time. If they don't, correct them again.
Try to be the best leader that we can and lead by example.
Last season, this is for everyone can answer. Your only conference loss was Point Pleasant, and that led you guys to have to share that number one spot. So what are you doing this year to ensure that you stand alone at the top of the season?
Want me to answer? I think a big part of it is, a couple things. One's attention to detail. We kind of let that slip away from us. We had a 2-score lead late in that game and made some major mistakes that, some things that can happen in any game. But the big thing is you have to be able to overcome it and respond the right way to those things. And instead of handling that the right way, and again, you mentioned earlier about the young guys, they got to figure this out pretty quickly too. But some things are going to happen that don't go your way in a game, and you got to find a way to fix it and not let it compound and build on itself. And we kind of let that happen against Point last year.
Hey, Coach, you've had some great success through the years with the program here, and it's winning, and it's also, though, when you get to be good, people don't want to play you. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of step up your schedule. How has that helped you to play bigger, better people?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's some good and bad to that, but it's a physical game, so the tough thing is having that grind week in, week out, and getting guys banged up in those big games against big schools. But the good side of that is when you make it to the playoffs, when you get to the playoffs, a lot of the times, especially at the beginning of the playoffs, and then when you play some of those teams deeper in the playoffs, you're playing a caliber team that you're already used to seeing, and or even early in the playoffs, not quite the caliber that you've been playing. So yeah, that's definitely a plus for us that we feel like we're battle tested, so to speak, when we get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I have a question kind of similar to that, just revolving around expectations for this team. The expectations are high for you guys, and they have been for a while now. What does that do anything pressure-wise for you guys, and how do you handle that if it does?
Go ahead, guys.
The pressure's fine. We don't have as many people as we normally do, but it just makes the payoff better. Playing tough teams and working hard all game, then coming back and after getting the win and playing music and hanging out with the brothers beside you and just celebrating, it's all worth it. Tough competition. It doesn't matter the camaraderie and getting together after. The payoff is amazing. It's good.
Coach, as far as your team assessment, strengths of this team right now and things that maybe that you're a little concerned about that you need more work on to have to compete weekend, because you're going to see so many different teams and very good teams. So where are you strong? We have a lot of players back actually from last year. We do got to bring up a lot of young guys, but the core of our guys, we have we did have 4 offensive linemen. One, we had an injury last week, but 3 of our offensive linemen are back. 2 of our running backs are back. Even our quarterback's new. He started last year, just a wideout. And same kind of thing on defense. So, we have that core group of guys back. It's, it's the thing that concerns me right now is filling those other spots. We only have 31 kids on the team this year, so we don't have a ton of depth. and finding guys to fit in those other spots, and then those immediate backups. So when if an injury does occur, it's kind of thin. We're playing some young guys, like I said, and getting some looks at some sophomores and freshmen even possibly playing. So
You guys are definitely a smaller team. So what is the coaching approach, getting guys who need to play both ways ready?
yeah, pretty much everybody's gonna be playing both ways with the older guys, especially. We just talked to them about that mentality, the Ironman football mentality, where you're gonna be on the field and we don't get hurt, we don't get injured, we're just not gonna happen. So obviously, it could, but we have that mentality of we're gonna be on the field every play, and we're not gonna get tired, and we're gonna take care of ourselves throughout the week to make sure that we're all in the field. They're all in the field for the entire game. So.
And for you guys mentally, how do you prepare yourselves to get out on the field for a game to play both ways?
Just putting the right things in our body and taking care of our bumps and bruises and everything, and just preparing us for that Friday Night Lights.
Making sure that we're eating and drinking the right stuff so we don't have cramps up on Friday night.
What's this at?
Yeah, so I know you guys have been around for a couple of seasons. Are there any games, especially rivalries, and especially a Barnesville game, that mean more to you guys?
I mean, we take pride in every game. We just look forward, go week by week.
It's about right.
We look for the game that's ahead of us. We want to keep that 0 in the loss column. So just look at the game ahead of us and get prepared for that. If we win, we move on to the next one, and we live in the present. So.
As you said, talk to all three of you about the Barnesville game. So I know maybe you're tired of talking about it, but since the last time we talked, how are you guys feeling about that game now?
They were feeling pretty good. Just still working to get better every single day.
We know it's going to be a tough game. They're good, but we also got some good guys too. We just need to make sure we come out and be as good as we can to set the tone for the season.
And Coach, what does that, coming up, having that game being so close, what does the talk in the locker room look like to get the boys mentally prepared for that week 1 game?
I think it's obviously been going on all off season, being week 1, but I think it's definitely elevated us so far. Just the fact that we know we have maybe our toughest opponent or one of the toughest opponents on our schedule week 1. We're setting the bar really high. And you'd mentioned earlier about the pressure. Kind of feel like we're a little bit more the underdog for a change, just not having quite the numbers, and they've got a ton of seniors and whatnot, but kind of feel like the underdog, and the pressure's not really on us. It's us showing up and showing what we can do.
Would you have certain guys offensively that are probably going to be your playmakers that you're going to focus on, or will this be kind of more balanced? You'll have more, because you've had guys in the past that was lights out, but is that the type of team you have, or is it more of a cross the board?
Well, this is one of them right here with Clayton running the ball. So he's definitely that type of player. But we are fortunate. We've got a good backfield, and running our offense. There's three running backs, quarterback also. That can run. Grady Heston's a sophomore, but he is a very athletic young guy and runs really well. But Tice Beardsley is the other wing opposite of Clayton here, and then the transfer in this year. Keenan Bradford at fullback. He's a big kid and doing a nice job at fullback for us. So we feel like we've got multiple threats, and it's one of those things that's really nice about our offense. The attack can come from any direction. So
I know Barnesville lost their really good back. So
yeah, they've got others. But
I know they got a lot of linemen back too.
Yeah.
I think it's the way I picked the game.
Or I think so.
But I had a very wise football coach once tell me that first game was a crapshoot. They
Yeah,
just don't
never
really know yet what you got.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that's nice about these guys that have been on the field, as we do know for the most part what we have. It's like I said, those young guys. See how they handle it.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.